Leviathan, let's talk about it. Let's say goodbye to it because today it goes bye-bye. Well, technically Saturday.
We're kicking it to the curb and I'm excited.
Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Chris.
And today we're going to talk about Farewell to Leviathan.
Yep, it is a whole new rule set. We're getting a brand new tournament pack. We're getting all brand new points, rules, FAQs, everything is coming this week. When you guys are seeing this, it'll already be live. And then we get Pariah Nexus tomorrow.
Pariah Nexus is exciting stuff. Farewell to some stuff.
Yep.
Not some fan favorites.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. What do you think?
So there's two big things that's going away that are, well, either three that I'm very excited about. The biggest things are the mission rules for servo skulls and the ritual. I'm so happy those are gone. The
ritual's gone?
Yes, they're gone. They're no more.
Okay, thank God, because nobody liked the ritual. Guys, if you like the ritual, put in the comments. You're bastards and you need to fucking die.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
The ritual was where you had a character or any unit could create an objective marker on the battlefield. Like, oh my gosh, the games were just so lopsided and weird with that. It just made it very confusing and annoying. And like, also the wording was weird because it had to be exactly 9 inches away from another objective marker. Like, not a good way to start a season. I did not like that.
I think it also like confused some players too.
Yeah.
I know I played against Guard, and we were two. I'm Eldar, he's Guard. We're two shooty armies, and it was deployment zones were just wonky, and it was kind of just like, hey, I won't do it if you don't do it.
Yeah.
And then he ended up doing it, and I was like, you bastard! And then halfway through the game, it just became a big fuck fest.
Yeah, and with servo skulls, I only ever played it in a tournament one time, and the tournament organizer decided to do it just to make all of us groan.
Ugh.
And I hated it. It's so bad. I don't think you've ever played it.
No.
Yeah, it's anytime you end on an objective marker, at the end of the turn, the objective marker moves 6 inches in one direction. So you kick the objective markers towards your opponent, and the closer you are to your opponent, the more points you get. It's awful.
It sounds like a melee fest.
Yes.
It's just like, hey, you like Green Tide? Play servo skulls.
So there's so many weird like restrictions and things that can happen. Like you're not allowed to put an objective marker on a terrain piece. So like you can't get it exactly where you want it, and like there's all these weird things with it. I hated it.
Well, thank God it's gone.
I know. I'm so happy. The other thing that's gone, kind of, is gambits. Those are gone too.
Nobody worth their salt used them, and they weren't used in tournaments, correct?
So most tournaments, I can't speak for all, but most tournaments banned you from using them.
Okay. Yeah.
Like they were just, we're not going to deal with this. It's nonsense. Let's just not,
I played in a lot of them now, and I just pressed, I think I came up to you at one tournament, I was like, hey, how do I get rid of gambits?
Just next.
Proceed as planned on Battlebase, which, by the way, if you guys aren't using Battlebase, I highly recommend it. Chris showed it to me.
Yeah.
It's excellent. It tracks everything. We're not shelling for that company in any way, shape, or form.
But no monetary gain at all, but man, let us shill for Battlebase. It's so much better than tabletop tactics. It's so
Use
good.
Battlebase because it tracks everything.
And you can go live with it. It's great.
It's great.
But anyway.
See your friends.
Yep. The reason why I'm saying kind of is because instead you can have a secret mission now that is a lot more contained and calm. It's not like as crazy as the gambits were. And also you get to pick it rather than getting random ones. And the way it works now is you get 10 less points on primary if you decide to do it, but they're easier to do.
Oh.
So I think one of them is like have your warlord on your opponent's objective marker, on their home objective. Like, yeah, that's doable. Like maybe you can get some bonus points out of that. You're locked in at 90 points max, but you can do it, So I like that. I think it's a little bit nicer. It's not as, like the other ones with gambits, like be in 4 corners, like good luck.
Do weird stuff, and unless you're not like Eldar where you can just jump around the whole board, good luck.
Those are the two biggest things that I'm very excited to see going. Pariah Nexus is also going to be putting a heavy focus on battle line, which is very different from Leviathan. Leviathan. I don't know why I didn't say that. They're very different in that respect. So list building is going to be very different.
Speaking of list building, what's changing?
So it's not that it's changing. It's that they're putting an emphasis on battle line. They're making it so that every primary mission has a bonus or something towards battle line. Like the one that we pulled up earlier is you can put up to, I think it's 20% of your battle line army into reserves, and they get the deep strike turn 1.
Which is really cool.
Like,
I mean, it's an option.
that's pretty neat. Like, it's going to shift up the game a lot. Like, I know when I'm like, primary play Necrons, when I'm looking at my list building for next season, it's going to be like starting with Immortals. Like, that's just where I'm beginning, and everything
warrior
from there.
blobs?
Nah.
I'm just messing with you. I remember in 9th they were very oppressive.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see a lot of 19-man units because of that one rule.
Right. I would not be surprised if they don't FAQ this like immediately.
Yeah.
Because the way that, so if you guys aren't familiar, the way that it's worded in Pariah Nexus is there's a secondary mission that can also be taken as a fixed mission that says if you kill a blob of something that has at least 20 units in it, or 20 models in it, you get points, right? So the way to counteract that is you just play 19 models. You can still pay for the 20, but play 19.
So you deny the points.
Right? Yeah. And, I think that the best way to fix it, at least from what I've seen, is to put the restriction on the other end and say, make it 11 plus models. Because then if, you still have to pay for the 20 no matter what, you can't go down to 11. Like, that's just,
why pay for it?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So I think if you make it 11 plus, it's kind of more reasonable.
Yeah, I think that people have already started trying to break Pariah Nexus rules a little bit.
Yes.
We've seen that in the Reddit posts and things like that. We talked about Pariah Nexus, guys, a little bit in our last video. Definitely check it out. Link will be up here somewhere.
Right here.
Yeah, right here. But basically, we're excited to see Leviathan kind of just shift out
evolve.
Yeah, the game needed to change a bit, right?
Yeah.
So I think that it's all positive stuff.
It is. I don't think I looked at anything that made me go, what were they thinking? Like when Leviathan first came out, I don't know if you remember, but there were some rules that they axed like right away. There was that rule where you couldn't stand on objective markers. I don't know if you remember that.
No.
So there was, in the very beginning of 10th edition, there was a rule that said the actual like 1-inch token, you weren't allowed to put any unit on that. And everyone lost their minds. They're like, that is just stupid. Why would we do that? And immediately GW was like, okay, JK, never mind. So, things like that shifted very quickly. I don't foresee anything like that in Pariah Nexus being like, this is a huge problem, other than the 20-man blob thing, which like, that's just kind of a corner case, But we'll see. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, a lot of interesting stuff, guys. A lot of different things. I think it's going to change and impact the meta heavily. And speaking of impacting the meta, I think next week or the following week, we get point updates, right? Is that 2 weeks from now?
Well, so when this video is going live, we're going live Friday. They'll be live yesterday.
Okay. So we're living in the past.
We're living in the past. We don't know them yet. This is past us. So we don't know. But we will know when this video gets posted. And I could not be more excited for this post. Like, this data slate is going to be huge. It's typically when GW does balance stuff, they do either points or rules and they alternate, right? This one is both.
Yeah.
It's both and a new mission pack, all in the same like 3 days. So it's like a whole brand new game in one little, pocket, which I'm real excited about.
And they're not just doing point updates, they're actually doing like a little miniature, kind of every army gets their own little thing, right?
They did mention in their little video, they said every army is going to get an FAQ.
Which is huge.
Right, which is needed. Yes. Because there's a lot of things in every army that are maybe a little ambiguous. We don't know how they work specifically. I'm sure every army that is out there, you can think about something in your army. They're like, well, what do I do in this situation? They should answer it. They also mentioned that they're going to be posting FAQs more frequently.
Which is great.
I know. So instead of doing like a data slate and a balance update every 3 to 6 months, they're going to put FAQs interspersed in between. So
sounds good to me. More rules updates means less broken stuff.
Yeah. So
I'm looking at you, Green Tide and Bully Boys. But then we love you guys. We love you guys. Every time I play an Orc player, it's just good vibes.
Yep.
But man, are they oppressive right now. But hey, somebody's got to be. Eldar were in 10th edition in the beginning.
Yep.
Right? So, I mean, I didn't get that heyday. Speaking of cool stuff, we've got some pictures, which you'll see up on the screen here, of the RTT that we did last weekend. Great turnout. Thanks everybody for coming out and basically giving us the opportunity to host. We will be, as I said in the last video, I believe, doing a GT.
Yep.
Stay tuned for that because we are really, really heavily invested in that, and we're going to try and figure it all out. Other than that, we'll leave you with that. You guys have. Other than that, we'll leave you with that. Have a great rest of your week. Hopefully a good weekend, and I hope your FAQ treated you well because it probably won't me.
Me too.
Guys, as always, like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you next time.
See you next time, guys.